breastfeeding day or breastfeeding month whatsoever. They are here as our guests. Please, let's start from the left.
Okay, thank you. My name is Lucy B. Gibson. I'm the WASH program manager for Shalom. So basically, we are into water sanitation and hygiene. We work in collaboration with Water Aid. So somebody may be thinking why we're talking breastfeeding and we have WASH in studio. So as we discuss, you will get to know why we have someone in studio that will be talking about breastfeeding and water sanitation and hygiene.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let me come to the next guest.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm Regina N. Moore. I work with the Ministry of Health, and I'm known as Tete Water.
Tete Water?
Yeah, Tete Water, that's my name.
Oh, you get funny, oh. Tete Water.
I'm the only old lady who breast milk can get dry.
Huh?
Yeah.
Jesus. when you be a grandchild, I say,
I can breastfeed that baby anytime, any hour.
Tete Water. Hey, Tete Water.
Okay.
Why they call it Tete Water? You say because you have breast milk can dry?
No, we promote breastfeeding.
Okay.
Yeah. We do a lot of promotions for breastfeeding. Encourage the women to breastfeed their babies.
You know, I take interest in these kind of conversations because they are more human. And sometimes we need to diverge ourselves from the normal politics of the day and go to talk about these things. But Miss Gibson or Mrs. Gibson, tell us about, you're talking about the WASH program. You know, I have been with Mama Augustine Myers before. I was part of the WASH Editors Network in Liberia and all of those. We went to the trenches to do other things. But I'm concerned about your involvement in the issue of breastfeeding by mothers. I know you're a mother. That's why you're taking key interest.
Okay. So first of all, let me just start with telling you about the week. Why World Breastfeeding Week? So every year, globally from the 1st to 7th of August, the World Breastfeeding Week is celebrated in almost all of the countries, mainly focusing on encouraging people to support moms, be it young mothers, older breastfeeding mothers, to get involved in breastfeeding, exclusive breastfeeding, and just breastfeeding children beyond even 6 months. So this week is actually is done to commemorate the World Breastfeeding Week agenda signed by policymakers, UNICEF, WHO, mainly focusing on promoting, supporting, and encouraging breastfeeding around the world. It was first signed in 1990, but then the first celebration was done in 1992. Okay. So this year, the Ministry of Health, with support from Water Aid Liberia, WHO, UN Reach, UNICEF, is supporting the Ministry of Health to raise awareness, to make sure it's not only about women, but men should be involved.
How do men get involved?
Men should be involved, because if you look at it, having a child is not for the responsibility of a woman alone. The man is also part. So as a father, you should be there to ensure that your young baby mother have sufficient food, especially nutritional food that will support the breast to have more milk to be able to take care of the babies. So we want the community, we want the government, we want the family to be involved in supporting moms to breastfeed the babies.
Okay, let me come to Tete Water. Make it have a call line because that name is a fun name. So Tete Water, tell us what are the activities for the week, and when is the official celebration day? Any of you can take it if you don't have to have it.
No problem. Okay, we have the national lunch that will be on the 18th, which is next week, Wednesday. That will be done at the Royal Grand Hotel, and to observe health protocol, just 20 persons will be at that meeting, and a lot of stakeholders will be there along with our UN partners, and then a few of the lawmakers, especially ones that are on the health committees. And then we have jingles that are being played. That started early this week, and some other stations started playing. But we have some on the ECOWAS radio station. We have information going on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and all of the different means of communication. These messages have been played. And at the county level, in the 15 counties, they also have their own program set in line with ours. And the same launch at the county level also be taking place. And then we have community volunteers or health assistants that are also working in the communities, and even the health workers at the facility helping us to promote this awareness as well.
Okay. Yeah. So when you go to the awareness, Madam Gibson, WHO is recommending that if the child is born 1 hour after birth, that child should be breastfed up to the 6 months before other complementary food come in. In your awareness, what message are you telling the people? Are you telling them exactly what WHO is saying and adding other information to that? What are their responses?
Okay. So we are telling them what WHO Water is saying, but in addition there are other motivational messages that will be added. So like you rightly said, WHO recommend 1 hour after delivery a child should be introduced to breastfeeding, and it should continue exclusively. So that word may be suitable for us in studio and other people, but we'll get to the community, we'll have to explain what exclusively means. Okay. So it means you're giving that child the breast milk 1 hour after delivery without adding any other fluid. No water, no juice, from 1 hour after delivery to 6 months. So that's where you see it's important to make sure the mother have the right kind of food to eat to help build up the breast milk. So when we talk about this particular area about exclusive breastfeeding, we even for Water in Shalom, we are even going beyond the community, like advocating to the government. There are some mineral water factory right now in Liberia. The bottles, the labels are wrong. In a sense, there are some mineral water labels that say this water is suitable for babies, but it does not clearly illustrate if it's suitable for babies above 6 months. Okay. So like that, mothers can easily buy and say, oh, if this water is good for my baby, then
I'll buy it.
I can buy it and give it to my 2 weeks old baby. So we are also advocating and encouraging the government, the inspectors to get on board and ensure that our mineral water factories have the right labeling to be able to help people make the right decision instead of leading them the wrong way.
All right. So, Madam, Teddy Water. So, I'm asking, what is your connections, or what is the engagement with the EPA that regulates these water companies? Because some mothers, many people may not have the money to buy the mineral water bottle. They go for the plastic bag bottled water to give and boil and give to their children. How involved are you with the EPA when it comes to recommending what kind of water, or whether they are satisfying these water factories that carry water in the pickups? I'm just thinking, what is the involvement?
Well, the group that we are actually engaging is the lawmakers, along with the help of the National Public Health Institute. There's a bill that was embedded into the public health law that has to do with the regulations on the importation, on the marketing of breast milk substitute. And then until that bill can be passed, there are a lot of things that we don't actually have control over to control. I think you understand what I mean, right?
Yeah.
And so UNICEF, WHO, other partners are also engaging law, because that's why they were invited at this national launch, and this is not the first time of them coming. All of the time we invite them to come and let them know what is happening and what we need to do when it comes to putting things into place to help our mothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me go back to Madam Gibson. Yes. I know the interior life, and I'm thinking about mothers who leave their children with other mothers to be breastfed.
Yeah.
Now the woman is going to the water side to go fishing, and she takes a fishing night. She goes in the stream to fishing. Let me leave my baby with you. When she cry, please give her breast. And then they do that often in the interior. I know for a fact, because I'm always in the interior. I know what happens. Is it safe for mothers to give their children to other mothers to be breastfed? Is there a transfusion of blood that come while you are breastfeeding your child that may lead to other infectious diseases? I just want to know, is it advisable?
Okay, so it's not advisable. So it's actually it should be done in extreme cases where the mother maybe went to give birth and she died. in the process, and 2, and there is someone in the community who can also fill in the gap to breastfeed that child in extreme cases.
Okay.
But if you look at it technically, your hygiene practice may be far different from that of the mother who you are leaving your baby with.
Okay.
So even though we want you to exclusively breastfeed, but you should take in consideration the hygiene practice. The mother you are leaving your child with to breastfeed the child. Are you sure that mother actually get involved in washing hands before giving the breast to the baby? That's one. And
Someone
2,
just
most
come
of
from
the
the
time,
place, just take your web hand.
yes, and
and put it on the titty.
sometimes the mother may not be as patient as you are. For example, maybe you leave your baby with the mother, and then the woman have to change the child, and then while in the process the child is crying, she changing the child just came from defecating, and then mistakenly her hand maybe touch the feces, and she don't have patience to wash her hand, and she take her breast and give it to your baby may come down with diarrhea, running stomach. On the other hand, most of the time women forget to know that breastfeeding is not just only about making your baby healthy and clever. It has that complete connection, that intimacy between
That's
mother
this
and
between the
child.
mother and the child.
So the more you continue to give your child over to another person, you are like breaking some relationship between you and that child. So it's not advisable. Only in extreme cases, like I said.
Before, you want to say something?
Yeah, I want to add up to what she's saying. At the Ministry of Health, we are not actually promoting another mother breastfeeding another mother because of what is going on when it comes to sicknesses. You may not know what that mother is carrying, and a woman in a even in Montreal will not have the time to go take that mother to the hospital, go do her test to know whether she have HIV, whether she have hepatitis B. There are a lot of diseases around us. Unlike before, years back, that was happening, but we are not actually promoting. What we are promoting is wherever you go as a mother, take your baby along with you. It is only you alone can protect that baby to whatever extent that you can.
Okay.
To have that baby
Before we go to come to you and talk about the issue of breastfeeding in Liberia, I know there are so many sticky issues surrounding breastfeeding. Some mothers will say why they can't breastfeed their children. Some mothers will give birth and the child refuses to breast, and there's no other option. As you stated, some mothers will give birth and the mother passes away. A case is in Lofa, and let me say this on the record for Toba Tanu, our correspondent in Vanjama. There's a situation you reported in Vanjama. A mother gave birth to 2 girls and she died. Yesterday, I shared the information with Titi Jibril on the morning show. There's somebody in the government who wants to assist. I will not call the person's name. He has said he doesn't want to be named, but he wants adoption of the children. He can talk to people in America and people in Liberia. If the parents or the grandparents who want the children to be adopted, he can also find other means to help. He's so concerned about the welfare of those 2 girls. And when I listen to Toba Tanu, the girls were born, their mother is not around. And they were screaming that they want to suck breast. When they put their hands this way, they cannot find their mother. It was very heart touching yesterday when I listened to that report from Lofa. So in these kind of cases, I think that what you're talking about, Madam Gibson, about in extreme cases where that happens, so you can bring someone to breastfeed a child.
So even in extreme cases, like we said, within the Public Health Institute law, I think we have the
recommended formulas
for babies.
Not another mother breastfeeding.
Mainly looking at the formulas for babies. So they have the formulas. So maybe like you are making the announcement. I don't know the closest health facility, if she gave birth in her facility,
of course she did.
They should have nutritional staff.
They will advise them. Yeah.
They will be able to give them the right advice. Like you said, it can be heartbroken at times. People will be confused, but then they will have the right advice from the nutritional staff there, because there are formula available.
So what are some of the issues that you think are affecting breastfeeding in Liberia? Have you identified some underlying factors as mothers, as health people who are providing education for other women in the country? Have you found out what are some of the underlying factors leading to mothers not breastfeeding their children?
There are a lot of factors when it comes to handling breastfeeding. Firstly, when you look at the results from surveys being conducted, the breastfeeding rate now as a country is at 55%, and we are fighting to reach more than that in years to come. And then among these groups, about 61% of them are being introduced early to the breast, as she said earlier, within the first 1 hour after the mother deliver. And then because of traditional practices, traditional beliefs people have, that if a mother breastfeed her baby, the breast will get flat. If she breastfeed the baby too long, the baby teeth will get brown, baby teeth will burn. And there are a lot of traditional beliefs surrounding breastfeeding. And I mean, so these are some of the reasons why we are here to answer some of these questions or address some of the issues.
You want to come in?
That cannot happen.
I think just to add on to what she said. So additionally, there are some myths also. There are some myths, and that's why we want the men to be involved. And
they are the one that provide the formula milk.
Because if you look at some of the discussions we have been having in focus group discussions with women, you find, especially about young mothers. So you find a girl 18, 19, 20, she get pregnant, and maybe she's not married to the man. It could be just her spouse, and then this pressure is on her. She don't want her breasts to fall. Or the men still want her to be attractive. Sometimes it can be the male even putting pressure on the female.
Again, more, man.
Yeah,
you want to take it to 4, huh?
You want to take it to 4. They want it to continue to remain like iron. But then we got to understand that even as we grow older, whether you do it or not, it will definitely fall. So why can you allow it to fall for a good reason, where you have a very healthy, clever and beautiful child? So you men need to get involved to try to encourage your pregnant wives after delivery to be able to girlfriends after delivery to be able to breastfeed. Don't put too much pressure on us. Don't shame our body, because most of the time body shaming can lead to it. Did you have one look at your breast, forgetting that person was giving the baby tilted water up to 2-3 years, and everybody have different skin texture. So those are some of the issues where we find people trying to dodge breastfeeding.
So what about the little girls who have not reached maturity? At age 16, 15, they are giving birth to children, and sometimes their breast milk are not there. Have these kind of situations come to you as health people? And what do you think is responsible for that? If you want to come in, Madam Moore?
Yeah. Okay. For breast milk not being in a breast, that one is just a misunderstanding or a myth they have. But no matter the size of the breast of the woman, once you have that child will have sufficient milk in that breast.
You want the breast small, are they?
Whether it look like tennis ball. No matter the size.
You want to say tennis ball, say? Yeah, when it's small like tennis ball, you can get milk inside.
You can have milk inside. There's a little secret behind it.
Go wonderful.
The more the baby suck, the more the water will come. The breast is like a well. As you draw from the well, what happens?
The water comes out.
The water comes out. So the more the baby suck, the more the water will come. And then the manner in which they position, we have techniques. That's why we have trained health workers, and then the community health assistant program is all being in all of our communities in the counties. The baby has to be positioned properly in order for the baby to be comfortable. If you are eating as an older person, you sit and be comfortable. There's no way you lie down on a bed and say you eat and be comfortable. You have to sit up properly. So when a child is young, the head should be at the corner of the elbow.
Okay.
The buttocks of the baby in the palm of the mother. Stomach, the face, mother, face that eye contact. Or I mean, it's just wonderful.
I understand. That's why some of the young people who are coming out don't know. Especially our teenagers who want to get in life.
And one thing that is creeping among the teenagers is transfer aggression.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
When most of the young men or the boys, by the time they get belly, they run away.
Okay.
So when our child if they don't want to take out the pregnancy, when our child is born,
they kill the grandma.
They kill the grandma. Send the part run away to, and I'm giving no baby to that man, not baby. These are some of the things that is creeping the communities, and we are overlooking it. What are you the young man riding, especially motorcyclists? If you are riding,
I want to call that name. Yeah, you calling that name.
If the girl
Because when the children sit down behind it and they carry the market, they whisper in that ear. And you know, I'll give you right.
Y'all help out to talk. Y'all who the baby boys and y'all help out to talk to them. If the girl get better,
grandpa then we're not born then grandpa then.
Okay, you're grandpa then. If the girl get better, you want her anymore. Just hold your peace. Let her deliver the small money. Give her. Let her baby maybe start up to walking. You won't go by now. Then you can get your trouble.
But research has shown that 61% of mothers are the one who breastfeed their children for 1 hour to up to 6 months. Why you think is this way? What is happening?
Why?
So I think we already talked.
Okay, but sorry, but the next question I will go into is about the rural parts of the country.
Okay.
Sometimes your activities are tailored around the urban areas, and you don't really visit the rural parts of Liberia.
Okay,
what is the involvement with the people in the rest of the 14 counties?
Okay, so for Shalom, so personally, our work is mainly in Todi District and Grand Bassa. So like I said, we are into water, sanitation, hygiene. But then what happened, we are integrating nutrition into WASH. So we have activities going on in the community where we encourage women when it comes to food hygiene, how to prepare food better. And in the process, we also include healthy breastfeeding for women. So I remember last year and the year before last, we worked with some of the health facilities using the nutrition staff to hold discussion with especially the teenage mothers who usually carry their baby 0 to 6 months at the health facility, to be able to talk to them and encourage them about breastfeeding, taking in consideration keeping the self clean, because you know the babies are human beings too. Keeping the self clean, ensuring that even if you love your child to that extent, if the child is crying, you change the child, wash your hands before giving the child breast milk, because we are talking about breast milk being safe. It's safe from within, but it's possible it can get contaminated if dirt get in contact with it. For example, because there are some people who gave the child breast, your hands may like to touch the nipple. If your hands are dirty, it will affect the child, and then before you look, your child start coming down with frequent.
You see that? Is it an African child?
Yeah, frequent diarrhea. So between 1 month to 6 months, frequent diarrhea. You are just trying to lead that child little by little into becoming stunted, and then you find your child going to school at the age 6. The child look like the 1 year or 2. And then you think it's
then
wish.
You born another one, the other one like that.
Yeah, and you think
it's stairs.
You think it's wish. It's not wish. It's just based on the kind of care the
and
child
the woman body the child looking at stairs.
Yeah.
And
they are old, but you see them, they are not just normally tight, but they are stunted. You see 5 years and you compare with the regular 5 years, there's a huge difference in terms of IQ.
Okay. So sometimes the way I will come to you. I know you want to. I ask you whether you can go in the interior to talk to the person. You can be there. You explain that one to me. You're talking here. But the one I want to ask you. So the way you breastfeed the child or the children, once your hands are contaminated and the contamination leaves on your hand and put in the nipple of the child and the child sucks it, then it leads to what you just talked about, the child be stunted.
So what will happen, that as long the dirt get in contact with the breast milk, the child sucks. So it's like you gave him something good, but you added something else that is bad. Yeah. And then if the child start to come down with constant or frequent diarrhea, it lead to being stunted. Because the more the child go in the bathroom and continue to put out waters too, you find out the child immune system start to get weaker, and then you see the child look malnourished. There are sometimes you hold the child's skin like this. It cannot release like mine. It will just fall up. So you should know that something is wrong. Even though we want people to exclusively breastfeed, but we want it to be done in a kind of hygienic manner.
Okay, you want to come in, Madam Titi Water?
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, you say most of the time you hear that we are in the urban era. For nutrition, we are everywhere. We go the last mile. So UNICEF is the lead when it comes to nutrition in Liberia, with support from WHO and Irish Aid, UN Reach, those big people. And then we have other international NGOs that are also helping the process that are within the 15 counties. We have Action Against Hunger that is covering 11 counties with support from UNICEF, and they are also working along with the county health teams of the 15 counties. We have Concern Worldwide. We have Last Mile Health. We have, as she said, Water Aid. We have Samaritan Press. There are a lot of NGOs. Even we have the civil society organization, called Sunsat, that are supporting the Sun movement, scaling up nutrition in Liberia. And then with support from UNICEF and WHO, we also have what we call Baby Friendly Hospital Initiative. Mm-hmm. This is a program that is just there to promote breastfeeding among mothers, and they are being implemented in 9 counties. The 5 southeastern counties, plus Nima County, Bombing, Cape Mount, and Riverset. And so there are other programs that we have to support the breastfeeding promotion in the country. So we are making headway not only here, and then with support from the community health volunteer I said earlier, and then we have another group called Mother Support Group, peer-to-peer, mother-to-mother counseling they do in the various communities as well. And we have these mothers assigned to these these county hospitals. It's going to be implemented at the referral hospitals in the counties. And so there are a lot of things that the government is doing to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the way you talk on the radio, sometimes when I see mothers exposing their breasts, sometimes I say, mothers, so they can be ashamed with their breasts. You go somewhere, the child crying, you think, give it a child. The way you're talking to your auntie, you're making some finishing.
No.
Baby ma.
No.
There's no difference, sir. The benefit of breastfeeding for the baby. We got some for the baby, we got some for the mom, we got some for the family. If the mother knows the benefit of breastfeeding for herself and for that baby, there will be no shame in it. And she will take that baby wherever she goes. The breast milk is the first food for the baby. It makes the baby strong, healthy, clever. It is always available, it's on time, it has the right temperature. And as she said earlier, it brings bond between the mother and the baby, that love. That's why most children don't even love the parent, because the parent, how the children feel looking.
That's why they can leave soon in the morning at 5 o'clock. They come by 10 o'clock.
The traffic in Hoya, the other one Hoya, all the excuses you got it packing your bag, laptop bag, you're carrying it.
So
how you want to know what I want to? Because your mother now.
I'm married.
So
that girl will travel home, I did travel.
4 days in traffic. So just to add to what she was saying, so I don't think we are shaming mothers.
No.
So that's why information sharing is very important, and that's why we are working together to be able to break barriers that we want to stop women from breastfeeding. So like she said earlier, like the Ministry of Health, Water Aid, so through support from WHO, UNICEF, there's some training going on for health workers, community health volunteers, mother support groups, to be able to encourage pregnant women. And then also going forward, the issue of family-friendly policy is also important for the government to see reason how best to put policies in place that will encourage safe breastfeeding for mothers at workplaces. So I think maternity leave was 3 months.
It reduced to 2.
It reduced to 2 months. We are even encouraging maternity leave to go back to 3 months, because if it go back to 3 months with the right pay for mothers, it will encourage mothers to breastfeed. There are some mothers that are working in
maternity leave?
Maternity leave.
It has reduced to 2 months.
2 months.
So it's 2 months. So we are hoping that it can go back to 3 months. And go back to 3 months or higher with mothers getting a regular pay. So there are some organizations who, maybe the UN organizations are clearly observing it with some other international organization. What about people who work with local NGOs? So if you get pregnant, you are scared. After delivery, maybe somebody will replace you, and because of that, you now want to breastfeed. So we are encouraging the government to put in place family-friendly policies that will promote breastfeeding at workplaces. So it's not about shaming mothers. That's why we want people to join. This year theme for World Breastfeeding is protect breastfeeding or share responsibility. So for everyone to get involved, we got to protect it. We don't need to shame people.
We'll come back and talk more. But I want to play Mother.
Okay.
That song is beautiful. I love it. And I'm playing for you mothers. But let me recognize some of the guys who joined us earlier. Mamadi Morris Kamara says, hello, Chief Grayfield. I'm following from New Zealand community in Painesville. Wanyang Collins says, Mr. Grayfield, please play at least one crown music small. We are following you from Zulu Whiskey in Grand Juda County. Then track. Following the show, Chief, well, I don't know, Jacob Twe. I'm following from my Tukbaville, Sano County office, and in said WCF. Wow, Henson Walati has joined us this afternoon. Let me play a bars of this music. When I come, I will take a course for a few minutes. I'll open a special line for you mothers. Because I know this is not politics. The men will not want to call in. And I challenge you men to call. And know if you are one of those that are stopping your wife from breastfeeding her child because you want for Tito to be sending be auntie the kpago, and you there you will call and tell us why you stopping a woman. Or if you can encourage your wife to breastfeed your child up to 1 year. Yeah. I want to hear from you. Women, I will announce a number. Tell me announce it before I take the music because some of you can forget. So this number, you can call my personal number 0770 560 560. 0770-560-560. That number is exclusive for the female to call and tell me what the problems they encounter in their homes and whatsoever. And the other number for everyone participation is 0778-641-549. I will take the music just for 2 minutes. Mothers of the universe, Mother Nature's time. I see my phone ringing, or maybe I wanted the mothers calling me, so please hold on small. Let's enjoy the music small for you, the mothers. I'm playing this for you, Entemienta family, a long time no see. I need to see my long time, man. I'm doing this for other mothers of Liberia. I'm not talking about Mao. The man can take the children to the grandma. The grandma can spot the children too. When you carry the child to your grandma, no breast milk in the grandma titty. Tete what I say that one. Let me say. Tete what I say. This is the Bomber Show on the BC Radio 99.9 and other frequencies across Liberia. My name is Jala Emmanuel Grayfield III. I'm the nation's heavenly J. Remember Jala Grayfield chapter 1 verse 1. Let's talk and talk and talk and never shall we fight. Fighting is not our portion. Get the voice very well. Jala Grayfield chapter 1 verse 1. Let's talk and talk and talk and never shall we fight. Fighting is never our portion. Let's talk. Let's engage. We can agree to disagree. But the final analysis, Liberia remains supreme. This is Liberia, the only country we have, and borrowing from someone. And the senator of Monserrado County, Darrell Dillon, you always say, Liberia is the only country I cannot be deported from. You can't deport me from Liberia. You can jail me, and you can beat me. You can't deport me to go to Sanoye. You can't deport me to go to Bento or to my mother's home. I need to go to Zero Dama in Lofa County. Let me pause the music and see someone calling me. Perhaps there's a female. Are you calling to participate on the show? Or the person cut it off? But let me go to the lines and pick this call first from this line. Good afternoon, welcome.
Thanks ever so much, Jalas Emmanuel Grayfield.
Go ahead, let's hear you. What's your name? Where do you call from?
Yeah, thank you. You said you challenged the man and we are calling. My name is Papa K, calling and I call from Lower Mangibi County, Habe Hills, Firestone.
Yeah, I will challenge you because when they say politics, you can call everything. Talk about it when you know about the women.
Firstly, I want to commend your co-host. Yeah, and thanks for the program.
Your co-host, I get guests.
All right, your guest. Thanks for hosting them. and thanks for at least the information they gave us. All right, let me share a story. I had my brother, and his wife delivered. It came a time almost like 1 year. She won't stop giving the little girl a tete. So my brother would used to complain when he go to work, she would refuse. Myself, I started, coming here. I said, but you have to stop this. You've been doing everything so you can be satisfied as baby man. Just to nurture the baby to see how for the baby to read 1 year plus then. I want arguing here and then join fight, Yeah, so like my brother doing that vet, they took me somewhere and slept me like J for 1 day. Yeah, so
you were protecting your brother's child.
Actually, yeah, it's not very good. It's not good.
Thank you so kindly. Thank you, sir. Let me announce a number for the women: 0770-560-560. That number is exclusive for the female who want to participate and tell us about their own experience about breastfeeding in Liberia. While with the female to call in, I go to the general line. Good afternoon, welcome. What is your name, sir?
Yeah, my name is Daniel D. Mopolo, and I do join you from Mount Banston Ralphie Highway.
All right, Mr. Mopolo, go ahead. Let's hear you.
My brother, I'm so much happy for your topic on the discussion. Yeah, I really appreciate your studio guest. I think that would be fun for our women these days because most of the girls, even my own that I get, she's pregnant right now as I speak to you, but then always saying that, oh, I gave birth and the child will not suck my breast. I say, go for baby.
Your daughter?
Say that?
Your daughter or your wife?
My wife now, I want to say
okay.
My wife, yeah. Yeah, so she always get it saying that once she gave birth, she will not feed the child with the breast. So I just call her to the hut because I'm not home at work. I just call her to listen to the program so that she herself can be, educated that way. So I really appreciate you for your topic on the discussion. And at least our sister or our mothers, our wives should be listening to those kind of things so that they can be more educated and pay attention to their children.
All right, Mr. Mopolo, thanks so very kindly, Mr. Mopolo from the Ralphie Highway. The line is open for the female 0770-560-560. I've given this number to you exclusively for the female. Are you a female? You want to participate?
Yes, I'm a female. My name is Carla Baguette.
Your name is what?
Carla Baguette.
Okay, where are you calling from, Carla?
I'm calling from Mambagbe.
Okay.
I'm a breastfeeding mother, and I want to thank your studio guests so much for the topic on the discussion. And I would like for them to increase the courage that they will go to the other people to give them the message to. My first daughter was 2 years. I took her from Tete, and the second one, as we speak, I'm carrying him now. He's over 2 years now, so my aunt to take care of him. So I would like for others to do the same too. Because it makes things clever.
What a mother you are. I appreciate it. Let me take the next caller. Are you a female? You want to participate?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, what is your name? Please let me hear you quick.
Yeah, I'm good for you, calling from Finland.
Okay, we want you. Go ahead. Let's hear you. Let's hear your experience.
All right. First of all, I want to say thanks to your studio guests. But I really want her to include men in this thing.
How does she include men?
Because of women not willing to breastfeed babies.
Oh.
Because you find out that if a lady breast is swelling or is very flat, no man wants to come after you. So all of the females these days,
look at all the slipper today. Is it a slipper today?
What?
Is it a slipper today, eh?
And secondly, the people who are the ones who really know why it is to breastfeed children are the ones who don't breastfeed children in Liberia.
Okay.
The native women, you will find out that all of the native women in the first place, they don't have money to buy milk. So they won't give child breast milk for 6 months, sometimes to 2 years. But the ones who know why it is to really breastfeed the kids are the ones who will get excuses, who will say because of my job, because of this, I just breastfeed my baby.
Thank you. The program is getting so juicy. The women are calling their numbers. I just lost the other number. The male are also calling for the other line, and it's getting so juicy. But going to an end, the last food can be sweet. Yeah, anybody that tell you laugh before you can find her face. Hello, you woman, you want to talk?
Yes, hello.
Yeah, give you 10 seconds, talk quickly.
My name is Julia.
Mm.
Julia Dawi, now I'm calling from Nima County. I want to be thankful to those that are in the studio there because we the daystar mothers, we don't like to breastfeed our children. And I want to be thankful to God for the women that are in the studio there. They so-called babies' mother, they don't like to give their children tete, and then the mothers, they can take the children and bring the children to their various homes and leave them on the street without breastfeeding the baby then will come down with sickness, rushing them to the hospital every day and night.
Okay.
It's not good. Let us learn to breastfeed our children.
Thank you.
For me, my tete stay pump. I got 3 children.
Jesus.
They are baby and far.
But how you manage for a tete to be so poor like that?
From 1 month to 2 years old.
But how you manage for a tete to be poor like that? 3 children. You born 3 children, tete say poor like that, yeah? And today?
It's still pump.
What is secret?
What?
What is secret you get?
What is secret? The problem is you feed your children the proper way and eat the proper food. Your tete will stay big.
Thank you. They put on making no pattern comment. So listen. Hello, you want to talk your woman?
Hello?
Your mother?
Yeah, I'm grandmother.
Grandmother, where you calling from, grandmommy?
I'm calling from Blanketmore County.
Yakune. Let's hear you now 10 seconds.
Yeah, you know, I want to tell the people thank you. Yeah, for giving up one goal and idea for our children.
Okay.
But you know, my concern here is, suppose the baby mom when she deliver like that, and then she fall down with failure like that, at least in 3 days, she fall down with sickness. And they try to tell her that the baby will not drink water under the mother breast. And that pregnant is very serious. How that baby will be?
Okay. Man, thank you so much. Yeah, and I think calling you, I said the women calling plenty. But I almost say what? I enter this standing. Yeah, Jesus. My friend and brother Copa Lake, you following us from the USA. Thank you for joining us. The Elephant Beer Tower is doing very well here. Wow, I get the calls are many, man. The female calling. But I almost for Nima say identity. Grandma say, yeah, I had to do. That's how we're going this afternoon. I can't. Let me just say something quickly. 10 seconds, quick. That go.
Okay.
Madam Gibson.
All right. So to all mothers, breastfeeding is important. It boosts brain development for your children. Not only for the babies, but for you, mother. Those who can breastfeed, they stand better chance of not coming down with breast or ovary cancer, neither diabetes type 2, nor coming down with any kind of postpartum depression. So you see, there are benefits for breastfeeding, not just for your baby, but for you also. So get involved, and get involved. Thank you.
All right. You want to say something else to leave you?
And the breastfeeding messages are being played on the local radios in all of the 15 counties. And they are in the local data as well. So we encourage them to listen. And then let them take the breastfeeding serious because that's the best food for their babies. Thank you very much.
All right. Oh, yes, my friend and brother Samuka Keita. Osma FM in Grand Jide County is monitoring the show. This has been the Bomber Show on ERBC Radio.